Hello. Hello. Sorry about that. Just trying to eat a snack before streaming. Not just stuck it in the fridge. Wait. Please don't hurt me. So much stuff in my room. Ow. Okay. So we got what? 3 hours before raid? Surely I can finish this game before it ends, right? Right? Yeah. I went to go put on my headphones and I'm like, wait, why do I need headphones? All I remember is that we did the summation examination, and I'm pretty sure that is not the only one we'll have. Order, please. Why did you actually use order in like the phone that I'm used to? Let's resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. I presume you heard the defense counsel's summation examination. Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov, I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Horrible. I love these guys. This is gonna be hard work. Early in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windibanks. It was Benless soon as weren't it? Didn't have time to pull me dukes out of me, Lucy Locks. Lucy Locks! However, that was a lie. You brothers! The night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We never done nothing of this sort! How do you figure that out? You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time, you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov, we hear ya! We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach! Gregson is not having any of this. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling through nothing. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Mommy, it didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter coming out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scampered straight into him in the black. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windibake's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor. No. That's right, Nash. That's right. It's more like we tied it up. Yeah. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing gunshot, having first made good of their mess. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can't he make us sound a bit more cutthroat? It can't just be a coincidence that these men showed up at Windibanks then. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. don't know how this is gonna go. What you're saying is, tell him the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked all those things off the counter. Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright? Blimey, me dead granny would have woken up with that bang. Big bruv here screamed like a bloomin' baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a lot of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked them scales on the floor. You've really mastered working quietly then. What a racket! Me granny would have been scared back into her grave at a clatter like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse and then all of a sudden, BAM! Hi. What's up?
Excuse me.
Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. No, something to add to about their testimony. You seem to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. And the statement they gave them told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout out something before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now that you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but... Can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? If I discovered a witness whose testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy! We'll get it right this time! That's it! Yep, it's all coming back to me now. Speak! Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds. Sirs. Right you are, Gov. Before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!"
Hold it!
In fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously? We did, Gov, we did! Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun! Blah! Perfect acting! 10 out of 10! Kinda thing. Career in acting tragically missed. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell? Of course we could! From the other side of that door behind the counter it was! From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard was that of the victim, Mr. Windibank. On me granny's life! 'Cause it was! On his granny's life! 'Cause it was! So, that would mean... you both knew Mr. Windibank and the sound of his voice. Eh? So that would mean... what? What, Nash? What? Any ideas? Yes, Counsel. Indeed it would. No. We didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when the bloke and all the fancy clobbers giving us the evil eye? Fonzies is not having any of this. You're the one that brought them in here, sir. If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On me Granny's life it is. On his Granny's life it must be. It's a good job his Granny's dead. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. Make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tied it up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it. The bloke what owned the place was holding the gun, so I should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. You're saying that Mr. Windibank had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah, bet that was a sight, huh? Them two waving their guns at each other must have got pretty heated. I mean, just before he shouted, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't want to get shot." Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Windibank was known to keep a revolver in his shop counter at all times. People say that is to protect the articles in his keeping. He'd rarely put a bullet in someone's head if required. That's someone being himself, of course. Good grief! Extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Bet he wished he squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun!" And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Gov. Blarg. Yes, a career in acting, very tragically missed. Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck, before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done slapdash job tidying the place up. I think they should have come out the door and get us next. Give me that gun. So they're saying that both of them had a gun, but there was only one gun. How do I prove there was only one gun? Hold it! Oh, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not in your life! It went deadly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, weren't it? No way that was opening. Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe. It was, Guff, it was, from the inside. Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through a keyhole or spy hole, perhaps. Don't ring no bells, don't light no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day... Ooh, Rui, cut the mustard! Please, cut it out. But as we know, behind that door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. It was in there unconscious, with the gun in her hand. Confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Gov, that's right! Couldn't have even if we wanted to. So we're getting back where we found... Shit. I'm not entirely sure I'm supposed to do here. And why should we believe that? Eh? What? Well, because it's true, isn't it? The place was totally empty when we went in. At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Winnebank. Correct? You've got it, mister! Down to a T! Well, the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Winnebank. That's really true, I wonder. I'm so fucking confused. That's it? That's the full extent of your testimony? What is it, Runo? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something important. It's nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry? People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take them all in, and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with the feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, it must be 5. Hold it! If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't! If we admitted to something like that, people think we was up to no good. Well said, Ringo, me old China. Me old China? We've only landed ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact now, as a result of lying to your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble. Ah, well, that's rotten luck. That's the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? You never ransacked nothing! Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied the place up. Sorry. Give me that gun. There's no proof that they took anything, right? There's 2 candlesticks. Everything on that left side of the counter is correct. The lamp broke. And that's about it. I don't see them taking anything. Ah, crap. Continue to start with you, and then when you look through the eyepiece, you can see the image. I do. Can I use this or no? Ooh, look at that! It totally changed shape just from one little button press. Well, that is what the button's for, Runo. You're just like Hurley. You boys love pressing buttons, don't you? Especially if you don't know what they do. Boys? A 10-year-old girl. Anyways, now you can see that it really is a stereoscope, can't you? Oh, crap. What do I do? There's ammunition still loaded in the 5-minute revolver zone. Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened as soon as we walked through the Winnebank's door. to spread his pay. This one only had a single revolver in it. Or bullet. I'm so fucking confused.
Objection!
Shit. That reveals a damning inconsistency in the last statement. Damning, you say? As I look at you, Counsel, I see your trembling hand, your pallid expression, your perspiring brow. Huh? It seems to me that is the damning inconsistency here, with the misplaced confidence of your assertion. Ah, he has a damning tongue. You invited, sir. I'm so fucking confused. Okay, hang on. I kind of figured this was gonna happen. Let me make a save here. I'm so confused. What do I do? What do I do? Do you say anything? Nothing different. Damn it. Oh, I kind of wish. So, Professor Layton, Ace Attorney game has a. Was it that one or was it the newer Ace Attorney games? One of them had like a little thing where if you get stuck a lot, you can actually inquire with your friends and they can help you figure out what to. Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss, good advice. Truth be told, me mind went totally blank. Your mind goes totally blank. Make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Mental note made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to coppers or something, so they clapped the darpies on us like winking. And after you've been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah. Listen, that proves it, doesn't it? Eh? Dude. How can I prove that they had a chance to? I'm just trying to figure out. Oh, crap. Am I gonna have to look it up? This is the first time in this game that I've been stuck because I legit don't remember where I'm supposed to press and what am I supposed to press. Give me that gun.
Objection.
Ah, god damn it. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? Why am I stuck on this portion? This isn't even the hardest part of the trial. I don't remember shit. I don't remember anything about this trial, but this is not the hardest part of the trial. I can tell you that for certain. How the hell am I not? Why is my brain not working? Did I press everything?
Hold it!
It makes it sound like I'm
Hold it!
getting pressed for everything.
Hold it!
No, it's looking like I pressed everything.
Hold it!
Greggson's not reacting to any of this.
Hold it!
What's wrong with my little pea brain? Nope, that's not what I meant. I was trying to get to the last statement. Do I need to prove that they've seen from the bank? I don't think the paper would have done anything. How would they have known?
Objection!
Who put the items back in the correct places? Can't be the paper.
Objection!
I'm so fucking confused. Little pea brain is very concerned.
Objection!
Oh, I don't feel I've never already done that. Shit. God damn it. The thing is, there's nothing that's proves that they've seen him before except from their own testimony. They wouldn't know anything about the manuscript.
Objection!
That's what I thought. What am I missing? Couldn't have shot the pawnbroker. We never had a chance. You had a chance. There was a 30-minute window of a chance.
Objection!
And I am trying to prove this.
Objection!
What am I doing wrong? I think I might need to reload my save just so I can have my 5 tries again.
Objection!
Oh, this is a new one. Nothing strikes me about it. Never heard of, please. Please, I'm really confused on what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing here. Guys, had the bloody fucking chance.
Objection.
Okay, we're gonna reload my last save. Just so I can have more attempts. It should allow me to just hold down the B button, right? Give me that gun! Ooh. So there's a few things I could try to prove. I'm just trying to figure out how to prove it. They had an opportunity. Shoot. Is somewhere in their testimony kind of prove that they know who he looks like? And know about him in general. And they at least specified that Windabank's the one that said, "Give me that gun." Oh, but wait a minute.
Hold it!
He would have died instantly. Because they said they happened simultaneously.
Is that right?
Excuse me.
A little bit vague because they could have heard him and then they heard the shot and then he would have died. Gonna make a save. Here. Just before the gunshot.
Objection.
That's what I thought. Give me that gun.
Hold it!
Oh no, I'm freaking stumped.
Objection.
Man. Oh.
Objection.
Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. I've already lost too much. God damn it. Okay, yeah, that picture of Windabank is proof that he was not holding a gun.
Objection.
You're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windabank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You got the picture. He has, Nash, he has. No question. And yet the photographic evidence from the time of the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windabank was not in possession of a firearm of any description.
Objection!
You surprise me. Does the defense really intend to highlight evidence that compromises the position of the accused even more? I'm dying. Furthermore, the defense has failed to establish that the photographic print presented, taken at a suitably short time prior to the victim's death. Your chronology is severely lacking, counsel. Yeah, that's right. Do right, Nash. Do right. The old geezer could have been about to turn the tables on the girl, eh? Hardly likely. No, I'm afraid this won't stand as conclusive evidence. Continue with the— What? What? Skulking, never skulking? This doesn't prove what happened at the time of the incident.
Objection.
This one? So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windabank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You got the picture. Yes, Nash, he has. No question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windabank was not holding a firearm of any description. Eh? You what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Windabank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Yeah, that ball toller used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Play.
Hold it!
Stay exactly where you are, right there. Huh? The crime had taken place as you're so calmly describing your testimony. It would give rise to an undeniable significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness, are you sure, counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where's the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? Autopsy. Autopsy. Autopsy.
Take that!
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. Skulkin. But it's a God honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. When he was shot that night, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with me own bleeding eyes. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windabank holding the gun. Something like that might have slipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun. Which could only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, The Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, Order! 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 Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, it wasn't supposed to, Why did it have to do the slow hands onto the desk? It would seem my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness, the death of you. You might understand that you've replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies. Ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, we cut it out, Nash, cut it out. If you blab now, you know what it'll do to us. What are you talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk, and there is no other option available to you. Oh, come on, the game's up! But you'll have our guts for garters! In case it hasn't sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out! On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well... we have to... on pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Alright, so we just got inside the gap and Eve a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it. For no geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter. I pulled me gun on him, and then he legged it through that door in the back. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I sweared. So you're now telling us that the moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Well, yes, sorry. Well, we find ourselves in an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But put on his governor this time. This time, Nash, this time. We ain't got nothing more to hide. Very well, counsel for the defense. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. You mean a sigh of relief? You say geezer. I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Windabank? Who else? Sorry, I mean, that's right. It was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was gonna come out of the back room like that. The back room being the pawnbroker's storeroom. Yeah, that must be where he's popped up from. Only place he could have been. So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premise. Which means Jenny must have been inside at that point as well. It doesn't make sense, does it? Nina had threatened Mr. Windabank in the storeroom with a gun at gunpoint. Then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? I don't know. Did you see the accused at the time? What, that mall taller? Couldn't tell you. No way, Culver. We had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. Give me that gun.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Windabank shouted those words in your previous testimony too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door. Oh, did we? The Truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he? Well, yeah. Was the victim Mr. Winterbank wielding a gun at the time? Was he ever? Blimey lommy, a great ugly barrel he had, pointed straight at me front to piece. So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Winterbank with the gun at the time, is that right? It is, Gov, it is. Spot on. And all of a sudden, he came at us, he did? Bedlam. I didn't know who was going for who. We're clearly all going for each other. Nash said we thought we had it. I mean...
Hold it!
Yes, I know that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony, too. Oh yeah, of course we did. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick and some skull whatnot. I got Tingle and some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked over them scales on the floor. So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter. Well, Big Bruv here went flying over the counter like a gunshot, I tell ya. And the old geezer pinned him. He did, Nash, he did. If you hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a bloomin' pancake in seconds. The time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbroker. There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right, and the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street. Went straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Winterbank. He did everything he could to protect his shop.
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Winterbank? No, never. I was just, you know, looking out for me, bruv, weren't I? He was being flattened, don't forget. By a man whose shop was being burglared, yes. And then, the man fled into a store where you pointed your gun at him, is that it? Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran through that door and shut himself in. There's something about that last remark that doesn't quite ring true. I wonder why Mr. Winterbank ran into the storeroom. What? Well, according to what everyone's saying, Penny was in there waiting for him with a gun. Yes, that's right. Tina allegedly used Mr. Winterbank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did that gun end up in Mr. Winterbank's hands again? I have no idea. That is strange, isn't it? Inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it. Look, the point is, me and my bruv here. That's right, Nash, that's right. Me and me bruv are here.
Hold it!
So he had nothing to do with it. Nothing at all! Nothing, Gov, nothing! The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was from the inside. We know it was, because we tried to open it. It was a decent door, that one. Good and strong, wouldn't budge an inch. So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused Miss Gina Lestrade. Would indeed appear so. What say you to that, counsel? Oh no. Anyone else apart from Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Winterbank? Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Eh? What? What's that look for? The moment you admitted that you have encountered a victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely. It? What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Winterbank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premise. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect of two conundrums. Two, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe. I'm gonna save as a precaution. This is how it is in a normal Ace Attorney game that you're playing for the first time. Indeed, namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord. You alright, Bruno? I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened. It will change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Tell the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. I believe someone else could have killed the victim. Indicate from where that person could have fired a gun. Right here.
Take that!
Defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. And in answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time?
Take that!
The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Mr. Winnebeck died instantly from a bullet in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death. Which tells us he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom. Well, according to Skulkin Brothers' earlier testimony, put me gun on him and then he legged it through that door in the back. Mr. Winnebeck ran away through the door. You have to assume that the door was open at the time. It was precisely at that moment, when the victim was fleeing for his life, that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Rising diagonal trajectory. Poor man. He shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Of course! He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body in an upward trajectory. Does the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winnebeck?
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room. You also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock. But, what if someone else locked the door? Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door! Is that so? Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just as described, the defense assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside? That would be Gina Bina. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
It's absurd! You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered a sealed room? For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, Counsel? Protection? Ah, yes, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, Counsel. Remember that, please. But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does? Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars have just fired a gun in her direction, haven't they? Oh yes, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Winterbeck were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Winterbeck must have heard the intruders break into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, huh? That's us, bruv. If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Winterbeck fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? I see where you're going with this! Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winterbeck. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't, Gov, we ain't. You gotta believe us. I mean, come on, we never shoot no one.
Objection!
You shot Holmes. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Winterbeck's murder. There's still a flaw, though. Only one shot was fired, and their bullet was outside. Where does that leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? And no, it was the three brothers. They look as shady as a dense forest. That was amazing, Bruno! All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now. I know, first time ever, and probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict if not... An admirable effect, my learned friend. What's this now? It's laughing? You find this situation amusing, Lord Von Zeeks. I myself find the defense argument most persuasive. Ah, yes. Return of the grape juice bottle. I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What? The hypothesis you put forward is so obstinately credible you cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw. A fatal flaw? You mean to tell me that you're unaware of your own logic's failing? I say, Lord Von Zeeks, might be an idea to explain this valley conjuring trick or whatever it is the troops on the ground, huh? Fatal flaw, my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. By George, count bullets? Oh dear. You know this then. Huh? What's everyone talking about? Counsel. Yes, sir! Tell the court, how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime? Two bullets. Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. The second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know that there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windabank. Skulkin Brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it does! A single bullet from each! Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes. Yes, I did! Oh my goodness, I think you'll find that if a single bullet that was fired from the brothers' guns hit Mr. Sholmes, it means Windabank not shot by same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop. Exactly. Yes, this Nepalese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never any more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. There you go, buddy. Order! 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 Oh! Bye! Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dredges of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery. Well, Lord Von Zeeks! This court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. He has a past riddled with criminal conduct. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with a murder weapon. And I have here in my possession 1 more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present. Disc! It's the disc from the coat pocket. Evidence. Evidence. Yes, the music box disc. Mr. McGill's music box disc. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Windabank. The accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly does belong to her. And with nothing of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious! Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on the account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc take the disc into the court record, please. As a grim testament to the— Alright. Lord Von Zeeks, Inspector Gregson? What? Yes, Inspector? We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed that the disc wouldn't be used as evidence. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Von Zeeks at all. I am unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. For warnings is noted. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord. Indeed. Bailiff! So I am gonna look at it. Prosecution has established the accuser's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. as I will basically look into this. Hey, Iris, sweetheart, can you just hit this with the blammy blam? Get this done quickly, Iris. We know who this belongs to. This belongs to the, Egbert. Oh! Wait a minute! Lovely bright shade again. Wait, that color. What is it? It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? So, go into the portfolio. What we thought would have been the blood of Herlock Sholmes is not his blood. That would be Egbert's. Because we know for sure Egbert got hurt by this, right? At least that's what I remember happened. Because he was trying to take the disc, and then he scratched himself on the disc. Right? His blood wasn't there at the first powder disc, yeah. There's nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once, for all 5 minutes. Here, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Bruno. My lord! Wonder if I might say something at this point. Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told, but all of a sudden... The answer's bally obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it. Oh no. Very well. The court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
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 Guilty. God, why do you sound like a goddamn villain? We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. That's my line! I wrote that for Hurley! Ah! How dare you use it against us? Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's no more to this case than we realize. Must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. That's beyond any doubt. Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready? Your adept squadron is prime and ready for action, sir! Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. A rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breeds to us law-abiding citizens. As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted. Oh, wait, what should you have? I can't see them! Whatever. We don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look it was the pickpocket. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief. The accused attempted at a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am ballistics expert. Hey. Hang on, the little rat. Look at him, all prim and proper. He's just the precious. I've seen many shootings. There's nothing I do not know about guns. We'll see. There's little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit, I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I'd jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more! The whole courtroom's turning against me. It's not fair! Iris? The prosecution's being mean! Just because Jenny's done some things she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer! Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out, eventually. That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord.
Hold it!
What do you mean you're in for a busy day? Forgot to say. Stop. Do excuse me. Stop. I'm a communications officer. Stop. Communications officer? Does that have something to do with sending telegrams? Everything from personal messages written by members of the public to the latest news in the capital. I convert all of the messages into Morse code and tap it out to the entire world electronically. To the entire world? Thousands of miles of cable under the sea. Stop. Worldwide communication network. Stop. Information transmitted to and from all corners of the globe. Stop. Yes. She was getting equally worked up about radio waves or the like before, wasn't she? I specialize in communicating information from government departments and newspaper offices. See. I'm sure I shall have to wire the newspaper reports of today's guilty verdict later. So no sleep for me tonight, I imagine. Let's just finish it all first, shall we? Lorette.
Hold it!
I thought you were just a tourist. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So you're a ballistics expert. Who knew? I have much experience with guns. I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme, violent path of, extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps. Those extreme violent bloodbaths. English is very difficult tongue. Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue. Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know, no mystery I cannot solve. He's very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure. But if possible, please, only in Russian language. He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is he? No, still, we should bear that in mind. He's our man if there's a mystery about guns or bullets. And Zeeks has managed to convince everyone. You have eliminated the impossible, he said. But he hasn't! We're gonna fight back. We need more material. And we have to fight back! We have to turn this trial around again!
Hold it!
So if I understood correctly, you need two pictures, a left one and a slightly different right one. Exactly, then you can see the scene in 3 dimensions! Like this! So, if we had 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them. I think you'll find that no matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. The only person who could have shot the victim is that girl in the dock. How can you be so sure of that? Think about it. The Skulkin brothers shot the great detective, didn't they? Yes, that's been mentioned once or twice. Well then, surely it's coming into focus now, isn't it? But Waste of time. I'm not gonna change this man's mind anytime soon.
Hold it!
Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it has nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet has simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? I almost don't want to ask, but is this surgery you've been muttering about all this time you were operating on? What's that fellow's name again now? Herlick? No, Herlock? No, Herlock? Herlock Sholmes by any chance? Yes, good lord! It was that Herlock fellow! What? You're the surgeon operating on Mr. Sholmes? That's right. Using the very— oh wait, that means he might have lost his scalpel instead of Herlock. Using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a very major op, I can tell you. It's crazy! Let me see, the fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. He said he was shot by some criminal or other, so I opened it up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find a bullet anywhere. I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. I hate to state the obvious, but... yes? Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. The counsel for defense is correct, as is clearly shown in this photographic print. The bullet that the skull converters fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Ha! Who do you think I am, son? Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do. As soon as I saw the wound to the man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you trying to check— are you saying you checked his back? Of course I did! And there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet has left the body at all. What? That's the point! The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in his man's innards. Which is exactly why I said about slicing them up. And I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can someone please explain how it happened? Can someone please solve the mystery? Almost as much as a mystery as how this jury was put together. Ooh.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Fuck this game, yo. Ballistics expert. Pitting. P-I-T-T. The night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the skull converters. But since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, it was assumed that the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, the bullet was found lodged in the walls of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello, my name is Villain. Pleased to meet you. This apparent contradiction in the facts that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen really similar situation in Borderland. It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold. Golly. Snow was piling high on both sides of the road. It was really narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunted us as they were on dog sleds. Mental note. Don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind, and I fell down in snow. And the situation was very similar to what I hear today from doctor. They could not find bullet in body, and no sign of, how do you say, exit wound. And where did the bullet go? Bullet never hit me. Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down? Bullet hit frozen wall of ice, very close to my side. What? One small piece, very sharp, broke away from a lump of ice and pierced my body. It made deep wound that looked just like bullet wound. Gracious. Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me. And that is the solution to the mystery of disappearing bullet. So that's a problem? Because there's no ice at the scene? But that doesn't answer the question at all! Did it happen in a pawnbroker shop? Not some snowy mountain road in another country! Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. No? Where exactly was Hurley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think. Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch in his belt. Pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his... What do you mean? Dangerous? What? Really? Doctor, where's the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Well... The fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital as far as I remember. If I may... Or Von Zeke's? Well, I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination. I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom. Sorry? As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assert the wound. Ah, thank goodness! I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Then it's been in my safekeeping along with all of the other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution presents the item in question with all speed. Bring forth Mr. Herlock Sholmes' pouch! See. Well, this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it? Look at that! One of the files is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So, that night, the bullet from Mr. Skolkin Brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. And it was the glass vial exploding that caused the fellow's injuries. The bullet did not penetrate victim, but was deflected into a wall of shop. A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least. Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered. Ugh. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Ah, thank you very much. Glad I could help. Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester this scruffy pouch as evidence. Hurley's pouch isn't scruffy. Oh my dear Jesus Christ. I turned it upside down. It's really scorched badly just here. Oh, the strap's broken! Look! That must be where the bullet hit then. Let me see. Oh, there it is! Wait, that means there's a 3rd bullet. What the? Iris, look! Behind where the broken vial was. Do you see it? That's the Skolkin Brothers bullet! What struck a luck that it hit his pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is, there were 3 bullets fired on Windibanks that night. Not exactly what that juror was talking about. The 3rd bullet. It's time to press that juror again, I think. Eh. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion. I'm trying. Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue, and you can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryunosuke. There's still a way to turn this around, somehow. I'm sure of it. Water. Wheat. Precious. Nourishment.
Hold it!
And I ask you to reconsider your leaning, sir. Oh no, that's another matter entirely. Sorry? All I can think about for the moment is this wonderful sense of relief that I have that the mystery is solved. I need some time to let that sink in before I could possibly consider anything else. Alright. Us surgeons have to be able to think quickly. Perhaps we should leave him alone for now while he savors his inner peace. And focus on some of the other jurors? Come on! That's not fair. What
Hold
you?
it!
I thought you were just a tourist. Oh wait, no, it's just the same thing. Okay. Poor rat. Well, he always turns up at just the right moment. Does he always come in the form of a pouch? Seriously though, it sounds like the great detective was on death's door. Maybe his injuries won't be for nothing. That pouch could be a very valuable clue. I guess I have to press these two. It's because Mrs. Strayed has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder. Is that what you're saying? Ah, well... Are all members of the British Army so quick to judge? I beg your pardon? Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Force, the greatest military organization in the world? No, I'm simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or pickpocket is wrong and dangerous. Well, yes, I might have had a point there, I suppose. But let's not forget the girl has already shown how she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort through and through. Can't deny it. When you say that she's shown she had it in her, you're referring to this? Exactly. Tried to swipe that only a day earlier, Or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Even though I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that. Never actually seen the real thing. I can't wait to have a closer look at it. Oh yes, of course. Oh right, because the only one he had was the imprint. Mr. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? And then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe. Still don't know what tune it plays though, do we? But I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy. Mr. McGilda's disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Perhaps we should examine it in more detail.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets, have you convinced? Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asks how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although... Yes? Sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like to find china. Does your employer dine with thieves? Well, I suppose. If there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position. 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene. Be possible. Allow me to show you then the 3rd bullet.
Take that!
Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question, Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery, another bullet is fired.
Hold it!
What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? was launched inside Mr. Sholm's pouch. What? His pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholm's waist before he was taken to the hospital. And since then, it has been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shots fired by the skull converters at night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We've already known the whereabouts of the bullets fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in this photographic print. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Winterbank and that belonging to the skull converters. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet has been fired from each. But that must mean... Right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. Until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Order, order, order! While the summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which this case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter! What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to stand at once. Witnesses? Governor! Were you listening to the proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor, we was! Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A 3rd bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov? I don't make nothing of nothing if I can help it. Is it one of yours? Gore blimey, Gov, gore blimey, not a chance. In that case, did you have an accomplice? What? What? Never! The Skulkin brothers work alone! It's just the 2 of us, that's our trademark! How soon we forget, poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originate from the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Lummy, that's an head scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The 3rd bullet, and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Get back over... Oh, didn't Egbert have a fucking gun? Or am I crazy? Thinking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear what this 3rd bullet tells us about the skull converters. Has nothing to do with them? I believe it has nothing to do with them. That's right! Yeah, nothing to do with us, Gov! We've established that 1 bullet is fired from each of the 2 guns already known to the court. The logical conclusion, therefore, is that on the night in the question at Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery, there was another person present in possession of a 3rd firearm. Whilst the brothers may have nothing to do with the 3rd gun or the bullet fired from it, it's inconceivable that they have nothing to do with the 3rd man. Yes, the brothers were working with an accomplice who was carrying a gun. An accomplice, you say? Higgs will. These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there's been not a murmur of a 3rd man, if this apparently wraith-like being exists. The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. The prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence, that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character. Skulkins are lying. I know that. But I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding. Well, counsel? I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the prosecution's demands, my lord, the defense is... We have proof that another person was at the scene of the crime. Because we already proven that the bullet on the calendar was fired that night. But will they even accept our blood situation? We'll have to try. The defense is ready. I believe I can prove all of the answers the prosecution demands. So, my Nipponese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if it will make a difference. In that case, counsel, I'll ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the crime. Now where the hell is the portfolio?
Take that!
The evidence is right here in this portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of the blood samples proves the presence of the third intruder. Well, which is it?
Take that!
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like on the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a bloodstain, my lord. A bloodstain? Green blood? Curious, even for you. Is this court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature? It's something developed by Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I'm a great detective! New invention. Stop. Not yet appeared in stories. Stop. It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. The Spogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's bloods to change its color. Different elements of people's blood? Yes! Everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in the flash whose blood it is. Ooh, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood. Talk of blood in courtroom. Stop. Very exciting. Stop. As example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. Ah, striking blue. Yes, so you see, the green color of this blood stain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. Now hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No, it's not unrelated. Date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Winterbank was killed. My golly! Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. And whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of someone else. The third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. You can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder? Hi, Egbert.
Take that!
The man's name is Egbert Benedict. Egbert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, counsel? He paid a visit to the Winterbank's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place. accused attempt to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Egbert Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Hello, Egbert. You wastrel. Inspector Gregson was there at the time. I can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the desk. Can you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Mr. Windibank for a print showing the fellow. Taken from one of his red-handed recorder gubbins. Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Windibank that morning. And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice. Well, Mr. Skulkin? Never seen the geezer before in me life! On me life, Gub, on me life! Never seen him! Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learning deep on these friends' actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can. And show us the evidence! I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. It's the last piece of evidence. I had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. But now, I'm gonna drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom. Ready to present your answers to court then, counsel? Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in his photographic print was in fact a person struck by the third bullet. Oh shit. I showed them the portfolio, but this works too. As I mentioned before, in the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully admittedly, to reclaim this disc from the Windibanks. Which is when the aforementioned Egbert Benedict appeared in the scene, I believe. This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? Correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. Disc. Oh, you can see the sleeve actually like broken there too. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surfaces. Those protrusions caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed. And the resulting smear of blood is still visible onto the disc now. Goodness, a blood stain, is it? My assistant and I just analyzed the blood here in this very courtroom. Using my trusty fogger gun. Yes, and we added the results to this portfolio. Say, it's green! It's exactly the same color as the blood on around the calendar. The evidence is conclusive. A man calling himself Mr. Egbert Benedict, who was in the Windibanks earlier in the day, the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night. So there was someone else there. Look at those two brothers now, they're sweating buckets. Oi, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Egbert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Sherlock Holmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. Protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes, like God of Detection or some such. And now you employed chemical substance devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court of the law. Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. The bloodstain turned the shade of green. What of it? Here's to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color. Well... And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it. Is he right? Is Mr. Sholmes' concoction a load of rubbish? I don't know. I mean, he is a great detective. What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with this! I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. But what other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it? Good grief! What did you just say, young girl? And in the summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now. Yes, she's right. Young lady, you have quite a devious mind. It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something? Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. After that shrewd precise of the situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for final leanings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Not guilty.
Two called guilty and 4 called not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection!
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to the real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. Sorry, Lord Von Zeeks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. Trial will continue. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible. What? The name the gentleman gave for himself, Egbert Benedict, is quite clearly false. I don't believe it. Just when I managed to prove the man was there that night. Could I say something? Who was that, please? Who spoke? It was me, my lord. You're number 5? What have you to say, madam? If possible. Inspector. Huh? Me, ma'am? I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again. The one in which the gentleman is shown. Ah, right. Yes, this one you mean, of Mr. Benedict. Yes. There's no doubt in my mind. You're number 5. You don't mean to say you know this man? Yes, I know him. What? No! Good gracious! Order! 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 You're number 5. How on earth? I am a communications officer. Stop. As we can clearly see, the gentleman in the photograph is. Stop. Also a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. A very talented operator, in fact. Stop. He should be in the communication station now. Stop. Happened away on the telegraph. Stop. It seemed right somehow. Can't put my finger on why, but feel right. I suppose we all imagined the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night. Yes, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. Gentleman is at London's communications station. We should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Von Zeeks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. Court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson. Yes, my lord? I should like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbroker on the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess. Yes, sir, my lord. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. I have a feeling I have like, what, 2, maybe 3 more hours? If I remember correctly? Which I probably am not. So we're gonna save. I'm gonna keep on pushing through up until raid. But I am gonna take a quick 5-minute break in a second. So let me save over the right save file. Does this put us back in court? No, this puts us back here. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go get some ice cream. I'm gonna be right back. I got my ice cream. I want to sit here and eat my ice cream for a little bit. Yeah, I actually don't remember how much longer we have. I just don't think we'll be able to finish it before raid. I might need to start up another stream, so we'll have to stream like 3 times today. Unrelated, if you guys have access to a sweet frog in your area, you should go get to it. You can put however much ice cream you want. It's all based by weight. You put up toppings there too. I have the cotton candy ice, which I'm pretty sure it's not ice cream. It's like well, I wouldn't call it a sorbet. Actually, it doesn't even taste like cotton candy, it's just blue. That's very tasty. Look at Gina Bina, though. What can I do in the next 45 minutes? Ironically enough, the ice cream is helping, which I think what Overburn was saying earlier, that cold makes inflammation better. That's probably nice. Yeah, I'm playing again, Nate. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. We're trying to get Egbert right now. I don't know how much longer I have. I think like 2 hours? Maybe 3? I honestly cannot remember if this case is actually like truly long, or if it's only long because it's so twisty and I like my little toppings. I forgot myself. Listen, I don't know why. For some reason, it's weird. I can't say this is my favorite chapter. It's how twisty-turny it is, and like, unlike a traditional Ace Attorney game, there are a lot more gaps and stuff than I'm used to, and a lot more hand-holdy that I feel like is needed. But I'd still say this is one of my favorite games. Whether or not the second one changes my mind, I have yet to find out. Did I get all the evidence, but oh. Can we point out that this man nearly died? And for some reason is carrying around 3 vials of, and I quote, highly dangerous chemicals. That one of them imploded. One of them imploded on a gunshot. I need you to understand just how fucking stupid Sherlock Holmes is. I mean, Sherlock Holmes. God damn it, I did it again. It's Sholmes. Yes, I know it's Sholmes. That doesn't make me less angry about it. The second elevates the first, in my opinion, but may still beat it out. We'll see how you feel about it eventually. Either way, he's a goddamn idiot. He's an idiot who becomes such a depressive slug when Stradivarius is not there. I hate this man so much. You know what I hate though? I hate this man so much. Look at that. Look at him. Look at everything. I don't know what. His character design just pisses me off. He's so bright and I wouldn't even call him prim and proper. You could take egotistical maybe. He has a face that I just want to punch. And then we have the 2 guys. Wait! There's one thing that's bothered me. And I could not for the life of me remember. Because it's been such a long time in the game. There are 2 characters that showed up in the last case. Right in front of, what's his face's name? In front of the Gyarados building. The guy who looks like a pompous prince, and then another guy who looks rough as a bag of doornails, to say it the least. I was thinking they show up in this case, but I'm getting closer to it. I'm like, I don't think they do. Who the fuck are they? They've never. That was the only time they show up. Do they showed up in the second game? Like, what the fuck's going on? I've never seen them in my life. Huh? The worst part is if I look it up, more than likely they show up in the second game, and I'm gonna spoil myself. I legit don't know who they are. I know one of them's supposed to be the other tenant. Like, he's a good design, though. I don't know why it pisses me off, man. Something about it. I think it's because he fucking dances. I'm pretty sure it's just because he dances. I don't care in the world. I don't know. I'm so confused. Okay, one more bread of this ice cream and putting it in the freezer again. And I'll eat it after dinner. Oh. If you eat stuff like Skittles or M&M in your ice cream, be careful. It is cold enough to make them really hard. And if you're not careful, you might accidentally, like, chip your tooth or something. Like I almost just did, just now. Back into the freezer you go. Ugh! Alright, I'll be right back. We'll put this back and then we'll continue for like the next 45 minutes. Alright. Gina Bina. Gina, how are you holding up? Starting to feel quite warmly towards her frequent cold shoulders now. Ginny! Are you alright? Why aren't you saying anything? What's the point, huh? Why go all this trouble and fight so hard for the likes of me? What? Oh, you saw it? That picture. What picture? You mean this? The photograph taken by Hurley's red-handed recorder. Well, I didn't think it would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure. It's hopeless. Anyone who sees that's gonna think I did it, ain't they? Well, I won't pretend it wasn't a bit of shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court. Surely you've gotta have your doubts about me now. Can't still think I'm innocent. Of course I can. Penny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night. Huh? Goodness clearly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still. We'd really like to hear from you. Alright then. Was after we had that dinner together at your place, right, Iris? Iris? Then we all had a chat up in your office, didn't we? Yes, I remember. After that, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I slipped out and went down the street to the 2-1, to Winnebank's place. I had to know. If Iris' store was there or not, the hound of the Baskervilles. I don't know what it is about or nothing. But if you ask me, there's something in it that Sholmes don't like. Something what he don't want people reading. That's why he lied to Iris about sticking in love with Windibank for safekeeping. At least that's what I thought at the time. So you broke into Windibank's? Just had to know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea at all that it was gonna kick off, did I? I struck the lock and stuck inside. It was dark as you'd like it in there. So I gave the oil lamp the counter a bit of wick. And that's when... What do you think you're doing? I nearly died. I did! And the next thing I knew... I grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it around the air like... I don't know what. Ah, you're the girl who was in here this afternoon. I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery. The mental script. Have you got it in there? Did Sholmes lead a load of papers with you? A story. I beg your pardon? Hound of the something or other. If it's here, I want to see it. I'm sorry, young lady, but I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. I don't want it! What would I do with it anyway? I just want to see it's here, that's all. Oh, and you want to see it, do you? I know if Sholmes really pawned it here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go. Oh, very well then. But for pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you? Then the alcove unlocked the storeroom door and we both went inside. And it was there, alright, the mantle script. Sholmes weren't lying after all. You did all that just to check for me, Jenny? Anyway, then there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bit of the shop. Spoken brothers arriving on the scene, yes. What's that noise? Someone's breaking in! Dear me, is there some burglars convention here tonight I don't know about? I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. Sorry. Better go and take care of it. Could I possibly have my gun back? Oh, well, I'll come with you and... Now, don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstance. And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back out into the shop. I hung back in the storeroom like he said, straining my ears in the dark to hear what was going on. Sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. I started to think I should help, I see. Just about to go out the storeroom myself when... heard a couple of shots go off. 2, I think. It's at the same time. There he was, right at me feet, lying face down on the floor. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it, quick as you like. Guess you thought whoever shot Mr. Windibank might come for you? Yeah. I went to grab the old gove's gun. Figured I'd put up a fight at least. I got a better look at him. Knew. Windibank was a goner. Felt funny in my head all of a sudden. Kind of dizzy. And after that, I don't remember nothing. That must be when you passed out, Gina. If I hadn't done what I had done, the old cove might still be alive. Tell the police everything you just told us? Of course I did! But they didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was if I kept telling lies, it'd make things even worse for me. It'll be alright, Jenny. Don't worry, just stay strong a little longer. Bruno's about to put the real culprit through the mill. Oh, what was there in the afternoon? Egbert Benedict. Still remember how he looked at me, like I was nothing. Oh, that's not creepy at all. He was there that night. I don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty. You what? You can leave it all in Bruno's capable hands now, Jenny. They're nada oro. Yes? How come you trust me? I don't get it. I mean, have you forgotten what happened about year before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. Me and McGilded, he told you a whole pack of lies. And you got the bog trotter off with him! Even though he was a killer! No, I could never forget that. Did what I thought was best at the time. The pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Oh, don't forget I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side to the bitter end, no matter what. But what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another killer off the hook for all I care. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in the trial. You were? Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. And strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I'm sure that no one would believe it wasn't me who done it. Oh, Bruno. There was one person who stood up for me, who believed me and was prepared to defend me. My best friend. Yunosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me and I'll do the rest. I'm so happy. I cried. But even then, somewhere inside me, I couldn't help thinking. Probably he doesn't really believe in me. Completely. But I was wrong. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he had an absolute unwavering belief in me. His fucking handpan has a mind of its own. Ow! And in turn, I developed an absolute unwavering belief in him. Since then, I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. What are you saying? I promise you, Gina, no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. You don't need to worry. I won't let you down. So I'm a diver, and a no-good liar. You're not like McGilded. I know that. That's right! You're our friend, Ginny! Iris! We know you better than you think. And we've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust. Yes! That's really all we need to know. Exactly! Mr. Naraoto, Oh. Send to Gina Lestrade, our legal representative. Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head into the courtroom immediately. Yes, of course. Thank you. What? Are you Apparently our elevator broke again. God damn it. I was gonna order food during, after aid. Whatever. I've been both a defendant and the defending lawyer in my time. What I knew only too well is how hard it was to pull all your faith in another. And I also knew how hard it was to bear the burden of another, putting all their faith in you. This is it at last, the final chapter, the final battle. Wish me luck, Susato-san. I hope you're watching over me too, partner. it's not. I thought it was another message about the elevator. Is there space between them now? I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lord Von Zeeks, have you successfully subpoenaed the witness? Was delivered to the communication station when the man works immediately, my lord. However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage, it would seem. See. Then let us turn our attention to Inspector Grigson's process of the case heard by the court this morning. The glaring omission of the third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector. Yes, I can only apologize, my lord. And although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood at scene makes for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my courtroom. It's a big mistake to cross Hurley and me. A very big mistake. My lord, subpoenaed witness has just arrived in the building. I wish I could do a better voice for Iris, but I really can't do that high pitch without hurting myself. Thank you, officer. Show him to the stand without delay. Mr. Egbert Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon. And certainly not like this. Thank you for complying with the court subpoena at such short notice, sir. Of course, my lord. As an upstanding member of London society, it is my pleasure to oblige. Now, kindly state your name and occupation for the record. Ashley Graydon, Communications Officer. Mr. Graydon and I both worked at London's Central Communications Station. Now, perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about. You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume? Yes, I was. Something to do with a murder that took place at a pawnbroker's on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question. That is the accusation indeed. This really is beyond a joke. Very well. Without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon. You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath. Gladly, my lord. Gladly. I fucking hate this man, yo. Naturally, I have occasion to make use of pawnbrokering services from time to time. But are you seriously suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? I have no intention of admitting to such an outrageous accusation, even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene. Some Scaramouch detective's home Detective's homebrewed tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence. Ah. So, you deny the accusation completely, do you? Say, I am dismayed. For the highest court in the land to be swayed by the self-professed detective's toy. The will of the jury, and our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld. Then it would seem that we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of judges today. My golly! How long am I expected to be detained here? If, following the defense's cross-examination, your involvement to this matter has not been established, you'll be free to leave immediately. Good. And I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at least. Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, counsel. Proceed with the cross-examination. So, we meet again, Mr. Egbert Benedict? Or is it Mr. Graydon? My apologies, you are? Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. We have met. If you say so. Ashley Graydon, Enchante. So? I trust we can conclude this quickly. Ugh. I'm not holding your flashy hat while we do. Naturally, I have occasions to make use of pawnbrokering services from— oh wait, no, this is a fucking cross-examination. Yes, I do. Have you seen these two men before? This pair? No, I don't associate with criminals. But by a man who just introduced himself as Egbert Benedict. I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. I love how they're looking at him right now. Who made this outlandish accusation against me? The young lawyer there in the black. This is a farce! Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway? Well, needless to say...
Hold it!
Where were you at around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir? That is past the hour of which I would normally retire. Certainly. I was not in the company of these rapscallions. You're able to prove that?
Objection!
Listen carefully, my learned Nipponese friend, for you appear to be under a gross misapprehension of this point. What do you mean? The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. He has no obligation to prove his absence. If your accusation is that the witness was present at the scene, the obligation lies with you to prove your assertion. You will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness. Silent victory, Wiggle. Thanks. Even if certain parts of here claim that my blood was
Hold it!
Blood was found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Mr. Cholm's chemical analysis has possibly identified the substance as such. But I am not the only human to have blood running through my veins, am I? How can you be sure that this blood is mine? It could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants. Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Trump's chemical is able to differentiate different blood samples by— spare me the science lesson! Who is this Sholmes character, anyway? Oh, I assumed all of London would know the name. He's a great, well, a renowned detective. So even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective. A great detective, you say? Now we're in the realm of fairy tales, are we? Oh shit, that's not the right button.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Skulkin? Eh? What? Me? No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you. Right, I've had it up with this. How many times have I got to tell you? Yes, I know, you're not Big Bruv Sulky. Mr. Nash Skulkin! Eh? Core blimey, governor! You what? Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind? Would you care to share that thought with the court? Eh? Me thoughts? I don't have none of them. It must have been him. You what? Mr. Nash Skulkin, answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke? Nothing, honest gov, nothing. I was just thinking. If he waves his arm around like that much more, I'll open up the wound again, that's all. What wound? Where he took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. It ain't gonna be healed up yet. So I was, well, you know, worrying for him, and... Oh. Oh, hell's bells. Mr. Graydon, did you hear that? What? Your comrade is worried about you, it seems. On account of your injured arm. My lord? Yes, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about. Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations. We know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. and from the height of the bullet in the wall that the person was likely hit in the upper arm or thereabouts. Perhaps you'd allow a court officer to examine your arm, sir? The left arm that you're currently clasping with your right hand as if in pain. No, I refuse. You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Accordingly, I am not obligated to permit any such invasion of my privacy. As I've already said, I'm completely uninvolved in all this. I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery where this fellow was killed whatsoever. I take offense at this insinuation I was in any way involved. You claim to have nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery? My lord, the defense would like that last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony. Very well, counsel. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon.
Objection!
Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon? Why? This is supposed to mean something. This disc was, until the day of his murder, in pawn in Mr. Windibank's shop. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, that afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously appeared to try to take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon? As I've reiterated numerous times now, you are mistaken, that was not me. I've never seen that disc before in my life. It may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on the disc. Ah yes, resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps? That's right. The surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations. So, while the disc bears the remnants of that skirmish in the form of the smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also, in the form of a scratch. Good gracious, indeed it must! Mr. Graydon, you've refused to allow a court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt that it bears a small scratch consistent with the smear of blood on this disc. Well, well. It would seem I underestimated you. What is the meaning of this? So you admit it now. You admit you have a scratch on your thumb when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant. Why is one hand in the front and one hand in the back? Order! Order! Well, Mr. Graydon? It would appear that there has been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc as you put it. No, quite the reverse. What are you trying to say? It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset. Is there some crime taking an item that you own out of pawn? What? It would seem, Mr. Graydon. And this piece of evidence, my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this disc now. As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder. There's a note on the disc saying for McGilded, but the item belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy gutterling, the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I have absolutely no reason to break into the shop later the same night. Did I hear you correctly, sir? McGilded, you said? The famous London philanthropist? Who perished in this very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder? Yes, my lord. The one and the same. Good lord! Mr. Graydon! Are you saying that Mr. McGilded and yourself are acquainted? Yes, that's correct. Order! Well, I certainly didn't expect to hear that name up here in my courtroom again. According to what Gina told us, this was placed in a pawn on that fateful night 2 months ago. Gilda himself gave instructions to deposit it and win the banks. It's funny that Mr. Graydon here is claiming that this belongs to him then, isn't it? In all likelihood, he's lying. So he appeared that afternoon at Windibanks in order to get his hands on McGilda's disc for some reason. Counsel, you will commence your cross-examination, please. No, we will not, because I got raid to do in like 12 minutes. We're gonna save here, because otherwise I'll be here for a while. I also need to test to see if this will work. So that'll be it for Ace Attorney. Let me see if I can stop YouTube only and just go on to Twitch. And then hopefully I might be able to pick this back up when I finish raid. Assuming I'm not dead. Where the hell do I go again? I have so many tabs open. Where is it? This one. No. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. Okay. So that'll be it for Ace Attorney. I'm switching off to Raid. If you want to watch Raid, go watch Twitch. Yeah. Alright. I'll see the YouTube side later. Bye.